LeBron is officially done with the Lakers, right? And this came out a few days ago. And I was trying to kind of give it some time because LeBron is super strategic. So it's not like he's just going to leave the Lakers and jump on another team right away, right? Like he is going to weigh his options, especially at this time in his life. There's a bunch of different teams that people are talking about him going to. And I'm just going to say my opinion on all of these teams, how he would fit in, which one would actually be the best pick if he's trying to win a championship. Now, let's start off with the whole Bronny drama, right? Because people are saying he strategically waited because he wanted Bronny to secure a contract with the Lakers. A lot of people thought that he wouldn't make this move because he wanted to play with his son and he wanted to stay on the same team with Bronny. And we could see that, he got his son settled. He did what he wanted to with his son, which was play together, make history as a first father and son duo on the same team or whatever. And he did that, and now he feels like he's ready to move on. Am I going to say that he's putting, essentially business in front of family? No, I won't say that because he made sure Bronny was good before he did something like this, which is respectable. I think that he cares about winning the chip. So whatever team that he goes to, it's going to have to be some of the most competitive teams. Years ago, maybe not years ago, but even just last year, I believe that Stephen A. was talking about him going to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which if he went over there, they probably would have had a chance to win the championship. Now, are they going to be able to get back in that spot again? I'm not sure. I agreed with him going to the Cavaliers. I think the Cavaliers were going to be a better fit for him than the Lakers were. They got another white guy, so it's going to be Luka Austin and the new white guy, right? Whoever the fuck he is. I don't even know. It's just this question in everybody's mind of where do you go from here? Obviously, the number one team that a lot of people are wanting him to go to is the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Warriors, other than Steph and Draymond, I mean, who else do they really have, right? They'd have to make a plan to maybe get another key player. Unfortunately, I believe that maybe back in the day that would have been enough, just the three of them. But I don't think at their age, no disrespect, but these guys aren't really moving in, maybe I might say 20s. They're not moving like they were in their 20s, right? So they're going to need a little bit of some young energy. If you're going to take Jaylen Brown away from us, maybe you should have sent him over there. That would have been a good fit. They do need some guards over there, right? I don't think that he'd go back to Miami. Him and Giannis on the same team would be dope, but, they already got enough bigs over there. They got Bam. They got Giannis. They done gave away all their guards, so they got to build up something with the guards over there, right? They got rid of Hero and Jaquez and all that. So they don't really need a forward or a power forward over there. Another team that they were talking about sending him to where he could play with JB would be the 76ers. I think that would be probably a pretty dangerous team because it looks like they have all the pieces now. It looks like they have the defense, they have the offense, they have the size. They're building something over there for sure. I'm a little salty as a Celtics fan, but I can't lie and say that they're not building something that could be great. I hope they don't disappoint us like the Cavaliers did this year. We see in the Cavaliers, with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, the two twin towers, as they might call it. And now they got, James Harden with Donovan Mitchell. And so you have, all these key players. You have Max Strus who came in, who's a very great shooter. And they still failed, right? Like they went far. I expected them to go that far, but they still failed. And I knew that they wouldn't get that far because they have, Mr. Choke in the postseason. I don't know if there's room for LeBron over there. I know that that's like kind of like his home base, right? But do they need him over there? Possibly, maybe, but I mean, they already got the size over there. If they send LeBron over there, they gonna have to they might get rid of somebody. This year, my grandma, she watches basketball enough, and she's not an expert. She doesn't know all the key players on every team, but as she's watching the Cavaliers, she literally called Jerry Allen a bum. He didn't really do anything this year. Like, I was pretty disappointed with his performance. Evan Mobley, I would have thought that he would have stepped up a little bit more than he did. It's definitely an option. There's not like a bunch of great teams out here, in my opinion, right now. I think a lot of these, especially with all the trades going on, you just kind of don't know how these teams are going to look, right? Like, even the Wizards, right? Getting those two key pieces, Anthony Davis and Trae Young. Like, that's an improvement, but like, how much of an improvement is it really? How are they going to play together? How are they going to play with the team? Are they going to have a good year? Because if they just don't have a good year, then they're not going to be a good team. So these are some of the teams that he's thinking about going to. I could see him going to Golden State. I think that would just break the NBA, him going over there. But I'm not going to lie, that might be his best chance if he's trying to win another ring. I think that if he doesn't win this year, this upcoming year, that he might call it quits after that. Another key question is, when will LeBron retire? Is he going to take a look at, because this guy, he's so strategic. Is he going to look at these teams, because he's a free agent. Is he going to look at these teams and say, none of these teams are good enough? I don't think that I could get close or have a competitive shot with all these other teams. Would he just call it quits before the beginning of the season? I don't think so. I don't know exactly how that works. You guys can tell me in the comments. If you're a free agent, can you just like say, hey, I'm good? Like, obviously a lot of players aren't going to do that. They're going to want to play somewhere, for the money and things like that. But this guy has a legacy. He has the money. He doesn't really need anything. So if he doesn't find a fit, is it likely that he'll just call it quits right there, right? A lot of people were on both sides of, is he gonna have like this last run where he's telling people that he's retiring and all this stuff, or is he gonna kind of quiet quit, right? And I don't know. I could kind of see both. I could kind of see him wanting that praise at the end and that acclamation, but then I can also, on the other hand, see him just saying, hey, I don't really need that. I'm done. I did my thing, and I'm one of the greats, and I'm going to be remembered forever. It's going to be very interesting to see where he goes. Obviously, my pick is for Golden State just to spice things up. I think Golden State and the Cavs, and possibly even the 76ers. I'm going to probably say the 76ers over the Cavs. So the Golden State Warriors, and now the 76ers with their new roster with Jaylen Brown. I think those are probably the best two places for him to go if he really wants to win another chip.